Good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the late night chat with the womb therapist. Tonight we are talking fibroids. It is Fibroids Awareness Month. So I'm going to invite a few of you to the live and then we'll go ahead and get started. Missed some of you guys last weekend, and welcome to those of you who are coming in the room. Welcome, welcome. Hello, hello, hello. All right. I think that is good. All right. Hello, Jamisha. How are you? So we are going to be talking fibroids tonight for Fibroids Awareness Month. So welcome to the live. I hope you all are doing well. For those of you who are watching the replay, make sure you hashtag replay so that I can know that you were here. Thank you for watching. So I'm just going to jump right in. Fibroids. So a lot of people have fibroids, especially in the African American community. And I do want to address what my opinion on why that is towards the end of the live. Hello, Alicia. How are you? So fibroids, what are fibroids? Fibroids are an acid experience. Okay. It means that you have lots of acid in the reproductive area of your body, ladies. That is what is going on. Please share this live for those who may not, for those who may have been suffering with fibroids for a very long time now, not really understanding what's at the root of it, thinking that hysterectomy is the only way that they can get through this, which surgery is not the answer. It doesn't address the root issue. So please share this live. Thank you in advance. So again, fibroids are an acid experience. You have lots of acidosis, lots of toxicity and acidity in the reproductive area. We are holding on to a lot emotionally, women, and that's where we store everything that we've experienced in our womb space. So unless you've intentionally released what you've had going on, what's gone on, what is going on, you will always have something going on in your reproductive area, because energetically, there's a lot of energetic and emotional blocks preventing you from things like pregnancy. People think that fibroids are associated with infertility. Literally, you just have no room for your baby because emotionally, and let's talk about that really quick. Fibroids from the emotional perspective is nursing a hurt from a partner or blow to the feminine ego. So something that someone said or did that made you feel as though you weren't enough. You didn't matter. You're not important. You didn't count. And so I know a lot of women who have experienced blows to the feminine ego. He chose her over me. That's a blow to your feminine ego. We have to die to ego. Okay? We have to address this emotional baggage, because as long as we hold on to it, we will halt our healing. We'll never completely see healing. Okay? So, uterine fibroids are benign growths or tumors of your uterine muscle. Michelle says, I'm glad you are talking about this. I have fibroids and I'm pregnant with my first child. And I didn't know I had them until I got pregnant, but my pregnancy is going well. I'm 18 weeks. Awesome. Wishing you the best through that pregnancy. I know many women who've had fibroids during their pregnancy and all went well through to the end. But as soon as you have that baby, you need to address them. You know, I don't know where they're located. I don't know what their sizes are, all of those different things. But you want to address that reproductive area because there's a lot of acidity in that area. So what you want to do is make sure you're eating properly during your pregnancy, Michelle. You want to make sure that you're not eating a whole bunch of meats, a whole bunch of dairy. If you can eliminate dairy, find your calcium other places. Greens, dark leafy greens, chia seeds in your smoothies. You know, eat a lot of fruit. There's many things that you should be doing pregnant to still help to boost your immune system and cleanse your lymphatic system. You can still eat with a lifestyle of detox, if you will, meaning high raw foods, high raw, meaning lots of raw foods in your diet, in addition to the cooked food that you're going to eat. But the meat, highly acidic. The starches and grains, highly acidic. Okay? So if they're located on the outside, once your pregnancy is done, after you've had your baby, you can look at castor oil packs. There are many things that you can do to help you with your healing. All right, so uterine fibroids are benign growths or tumors of the uterine muscle. Okay, what are tumors? Tumors are fluid-filled sacs. Okay, a tumor is your body communicating that it is highly acidic. Remember, your body is always working for and with you, right? So when it forms a tumor, it's trying to hold on to fluid to cool things off that are burning up in that area. So this is why it's so important to eat raw foods. This is why it's so important to eat the right things, because cooked foods bring more acid or more burn, okay, if you will, and the fruits that you eat do the opposite. It neutralizes the acid. It helps to rehydrate the body, because acids dehydrate the body. Okay, so tumors can be, a cyst is also a tumor, fluid-filled sac. And from the emotional perspective, that's running the old painful movie. You keep telling yourself this story over and over and over again. You have to release that story. Create a new narrative. That was before. It doesn't have to be what it is today. You get to create your reality. So if you don't like, you cannot change the past. Learn from it. Grow from it. Get strength from it. All right? But every single day you get to decide. You get to make decisions to create the life that it is that you desire. Nobody else. Stop letting other people's limitations stop you from doing what you need to do. You create your reality. You decide what that looks like. And every time you make a decision for yourself or your body, you are doing that. All right? So cysts, from an emotional perspective, running the old painful movie. Nursing hurts. Let it go. It doesn't serve you. You have acid running in your body because of your negative thoughts. You are responsible for changing that. Nobody else. You are responsible for your happiness. No one else. Take the lesson and keep it moving. I love the book. I always talk about this book, As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. Okay? As a man thinketh, so is he. You get what you believe, and you don't attract what you want. You attract that which you are. So if you don't like what you're attracting, it starts with you. You have to begin to change you in order for you to attract the things that you want into your life, the kinds of people you want into your life. So let it go. Change what you're thinking. Change the story. You can't change your past. If someone did something to you that was harmful in your past, you cannot change that. We can't go back and change yesterday, but we get to what? Create what the future looks like. So you make that decision for yourself. All right, so tumors are fluid-filled sacs. A tumor is your body's way of communicating with you that it is highly acidic. Some of you are bleeding really heavy when you have your menstrual cycles with fibroids. All right, and I would definitely get you on a bleeding formula. If you have excessive bleeding, I would definitely recommend that you switch to my Jewel Premium sanitary napkins, the super heavy ones. If you have heavy bleeding, do not, I repeat, do not plug a tampon and wear a traditional commercial pad. You are double dosing yourself with toxins. Double dosing yourself. If you're just coming onto the live, welcome. Please share this live. A lot of women are suffering with fibroids and don't know why. Huge part of it is the emotional perspective, and then what we do physically in our body. And we'll talk about what's going on physically in just a moment. So I would definitely put you on a bleeding formula, a female reproductive formula, and in a lot of cases, restore the pituitary gland, because some people are not only bleeding heavy, but their menstrual cycle is irregular. Your pituitary gland is responsible for your menstrual cycle and ovulation. So if it's not working properly, you don't know when you're ovulating, and you have irregular periods. That's a whole nother topic. But that's what's going on, all right? So some of you are dealing with excessive bleeding or irregular or absent periods. Pituitary gland. That's what would need to be restored. All right, so a lot of the times, what is your doctor telling you? All right, you've been bleeding for this amount of years. You're afraid to wear white. You're always thinking that you have accidents. You know, you're always like, check my pants, girl. Is there any, you see anything? You see anything? You see anything? Who wants to live like that? Like, psychologically, that has jacked so many people up. And what do? They say, you know what? I just went ahead and went with the hysterectomy because I got tired of dealing with that. I just went ahead and got an ablation because I got tired of dealing with that. And a lot of you have gotten ablations and you're like, it didn't even work. Because surgery doesn't address the root issue. Okay? Never. So the acid that's burning things up in your reproductive area, when you get the hysterectomy, it's just going to go to the next genetically weak space in your body and begin to wreak havoc there. A lot of us don't understand that our mom passed on a genetically weak reproductive area to us. When we are, as parents, we pass on our lymphatic systems to our children. All right. And then they pass them on to their children. And so if we continue to eat the same, drink the same, think and handle our problems the same, guess what? Things are going to show up in our people and our children quicker, sooner, faster. So this is why we have to address root issues. So a hysterectomy should not be your only option. A hysterectomy should not be your first option. For most people, I help them take that option off of the table and truly get to the root of their healing by addressing their body, both physically and addressing their emotional baggage. All right. So fibroids can be an easy fix. We don't have to make it a hysterectomy event. Do you know how much money they make for snatching out your womb? Because that's the reason that they do it. It's money for them. They don't know how to address your root issue. And they say, well, if we snatch it out, the blood will stop, the bleeding will stop. And that's their way of handling that. But it's not the correct way. It doesn't address the issue at the root. So acids make fluids, tissues, and fibroids hard. Acid hardens. It corrodes. It dehydrates, meaning it pulls out water. Okay? Causes dehydration, and that it hardens. That's what it does. So acids not leaving the body is a sign that your vital organs are not functioning optimally. All right? You have to work on, guess what? Say it every week. Your kidneys. Your kidneys are not filtering optimally. The acid that should be leaving through your urine is backing up into your body, and it is wreaking havoc. All right, so you have to restore kidney filtration. You have to restore adrenal gland function. Those adrenals are weak. When your kidneys are down, they're the brains of the kidney. They're down as well. You have to cleanse your colon or fix your bowels. Clean out the bowels. All right, because all of this goes back to the lymphatic system being stagnant. Your lymphatic system is a sewer system that takes out the trash. If the acids are hardening and locking in the trash, it's not, the trash system is not moving. The lymphatic system would normally bring the waste to the lymph nodes to be drained through the kidney. It's not happening. There's no action. Everything is stagnant. It's stuck. It's not moving. So this is why it's so important to eat properly, to eat clean, to eat high water content fruit, to get things flowing and moving in the body. That's what my ear candling service does. It gets lymph moving in the head. People are having migraines and headaches and tinnitus or ringing in the ear or dizziness, whatever they have going on in their head cavity, muffled hearing, memory loss, because acids are chewing on things, the tissue in your head cavity, right? And so that is what that service is designed to do, is to get lymph moving. And we want to do that throughout the whole entire body. The whole entire body. So you have to work on your kidneys, your adrenals, your bowels to fix the acid system, which is the lymphatic system. Fibroids are on the acid side of chemistry. The more acidic you are, sometimes you can weld your uterus to your colon. They sit on top of one another. I've had women experience that. All right. Then they have endometriosis on top of that. And they're in fetal position for 2 and 3 days, the first few days of their menstrual cycle, because estrogen is naturally acidic and it rises right before your menstrual cycle, and you're bent over because it's acid on top of acid. It's burning. And the body registers that as pain or as cramps or as sharp shooting pains. All right, so we have to address the organs and glands at the root, because that's what's causing the problem. We don't want to just snatch out the uterus. That's not what's at the root. It's a result of what's going on in the organs and glands that are not functioning optimally. All right. So what are some things that you can do? You can begin a detox and herbal protocol regimen. Detoxification is the only true way to healing, only true and logical way to healing. You have to get the trash out. You constantly stuff your body, but then you never make time to get rid of the things that you're putting in. You never give time for your digestive system to take a break. You have to do those things in order for the body to heal. Okay? So you have to detox first and foremost. Another thing you need to do is get on an herbal protocol to speed up healing, to help speed up the cleansing of that female reproductive area. Okay? To get the vascular system in the lower half of your body open with a circulation formula. These are the things that you must do. Kidney formula, open up the kidneys. Lymphatic system formula to get things flowing and moving. So once your kidneys are open, that acid has a place to go, because guess what? When our body holds on to acid, we're in pain. Those of you dealing with joint pain and autoimmune diseases, you have locked in acid because your acid's not moving anywhere. Your kidneys are not open. The acid is not leaving. Your lymphatic system is stuck, stagnant, congested. So we have to get things moving. We have to store adrenal gland function. They are super important to the body. Okay? They are responsible for metabolizing sugars, your heavy metals, your minerals and trace minerals, your iron. So if you're suffering with anemia, if you're suffering with repeat and chronic yeast infections, your adrenals are not working. If you're moody, your adrenals are not doing their job. They're down. You need to turn the electricity on. You need to wake them back up, but you have to give them sunlight. What is that? Fruits and vegetables. That's what feeds and grows the foods that we eat, that we should be eating from the earth. So when we're eating it, it's like eating sunlight. If you juice those vegetables, it's like drinking liquid sunlight. All right. So we have to change the way that we see our food. We have to change our relationship with food. Because that's the thing. People want to acknowledge the problem and now they understand what's going on in their body, but they don't want to give up their chicken. They don't want to give up their seafood. They don't want to give up their fried foods. Then you don't want to heal. You don't want to heal. I mean, and it's ultimately your choice. It's your journey. So I've had to learn as a practitioner that if people don't want to make changes, it's their journey. It's okay. It's their life. You know, people call me and they're like, I want to schedule an appointment for my mom or my dad. Don't do that. If your mom or your dad does not want to talk to me, do not schedule them an appointment. Because I've had that experience where a daughter scheduled her dad an appointment. He was dealing with prostate cancer. She had just lost her mom. And, you know, she was like, I'm scared to lose my dad. I don't want to lose my dad to cancer. We just lost our mom and blah, 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 blah. He was so nasty to me. My daughter made this appointment for me. I don't care who you are. Rude. And I ended the call. I said, listen, you didn't schedule this appointment. You don't want to be here. And I don't want you to be somewhere that you're not. Guess what? It's his journey. And I called his daughter and I said, this is his journey. And for future reference, don't do that to practitioners. Because if he doesn't want to be there and he's going to be nasty to me because he feels like you forced him to have this appointment, I'm not doing that. You know, and she apologized, but don't do that. And it's your parents' journey. If they don't want to do something that you feel they should do, they don't have to. They get to decide. And ultimately, whatever the end result is, that's what it is. We need to let people have autonomy and be free to do what it is that they want to do, because at the end of the day, it's their personal choice. Okay? So, you can also drink my womb healing tea and douche blend to start getting results. You can douche with it. You can drink it. 2 to 3 cups a day is what I recommend. So if you plan on drinking and douching, I suggest that you get 2 containers of it. Bring green drinks back into your life. Don't start your day off with that. I don't think you should have that for breakfast, but green drinks are good. Spinach, cilantro, parsley, alfalfa sprouts, dark berry juices, dark grapes. They're great for the blood, and they're great for the body in general. Cleaning out that lymphatic system is going to be key, and we're going to do that through detox. We're also going to address those kidneys, address those adrenals, clean out that bowel. People do not realize how important those things are. Mono fruit fast. Give your body a chance to heal. Give your digestive system a rest. You can do it. Okay, I just went through last week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, my current detox group. We did a fast Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And people didn't think they would be able to make it, but they did. Was it easy? Did you want to crunch on something? Did you want to chew? Yeah, maybe. But you can do anything in 3 days if it's going to help your body. And that's how you have to look at it. It's temporary. It's not forever. Give your body the things that it needs so it can do what you need it to do, which is heal itself. So we are going to clean up that lymphatic system, clean up the kidneys, the adrenals, the bowels, get on an herbal protocol. Castor oil packs, like I spoke about a little while ago, they're great. They're amazing. If your fibroids are on the outside, meaning when you lay on your back and you touch your stomach and you press down, you can feel them. That they're in the front. Okay, so they're on the outside of your uterus. Some people have them on the inside of their uterus. Some people have them towards the back, which castor oil packs would not be effective for. And castor oil packs are amazing because castor oil is the only oil that penetrates 6 inches deep into the skin when you apply it with heat. Okay, so for my vaginal steam services, for my aroma touch services, you have an add-on you have an add-on option so that you can get a Mayan abdominal massage with castor oil, and then I do the heat and I massage the stomach. Get blood flow, get things moving. All right, herbal protocol is super important to helping your body heal fibroids faster. Okay, vaginal steams are amazing. I've helped people reverse fibroids with that, but it's not just the vaginal steam. You have to couple that with changing your diet. You have to couple that with getting herbs in. You have to couple that with changing your thoughts, knowing that you can be healed. So it's not just one quick fix. It's not one thing. Synergistically, it's a combination of things that you need to be doing. And at the root of it all is addressing that emotional baggage. You have to address that. You have to address that. Again, for those of you who are just popping in, fibroids from the emotional perspective is nursing a hurt from a partner or a blow to the feminine ego. Something that someone did or said that made you feel like you didn't matter. You did not count. You weren't important. You weren't good enough. And we know that that's a lie. You may have experienced that or felt like that in the moment, but you have to tell yourself the truth. Because if you're not willing to do that, you'll never heal. You cannot heal what you're not willing to acknowledge. So what hurt are you nursing? The ex-husband? Let it go. Whatever that is for you. Whatever he did, however he showed up. Because it's usually an intimate relationship. It doesn't have to be. It can be a relationship with your parents. Your mom favored one kid over the other. Your mother talked bad about you because she didn't like your father. It can be a host of things. Everybody's story is different. When they hear nursing a hurt from a partner or a blow to your feminine ego, it resonates differently for everybody. So whatever it is that is your truth, that's where you have to unpack. That's where you have to decide to let go. I literally have worked with women who were trying to conceive, had fibroids, had PCOS, sometimes endometriosis. And the moment that we address that emotional baggage and get rid of those emotional and energetic blocks that as women we store in our womb space, they got pregnant. Why? Because they literally made room for their baby. Literally. So you have to do the work. You have to do the emotional work. You can't skip over that part. You can't say, oh, well, I'll address that. No, that's not how, it's not going to work. So do what you have to do for you. So again, tumors, fibroid tumors are fluid-filled sacs. Your body's trying to work for you to cool off. It's holding on to fluids to cool off what's burning up in that area. You got to clean out that reproductive area of the acids that are there. And it starts with that diet. You can't continue to consume as much cooked food as you're eating. Inflammatory foods, processed foods, fried foods. rices, grains, starches, fast food drive-through. You're killing yourself. And I'm going to share with you this because I heard it years ago. I don't watch him now, but it's the one thing that he's ever said that stuck with me, and that's Dr. Oz. He said, when you have a distended belly, you're sick. You're dying. And so when people have shared with me, this loved one died or that one loved one died, usually when I see the picture, they have really distended or large bellies. They're sick. So that's why cleaning out the colon is so important, because it ties back to how well you're going to be. You can never have true healing if you don't ever clean out your colon. Years worth of impacted stuff along the colon walls. A lot of us dealing with malabsorption where we're not even absorbing our nutrients because we have so many things along the colon wall, old, stored, stagnant, congested stuff that doesn't allow for our nutrients to be absorbed through the intestines. So we're skipping parts of the digestive process. Digestion for most things like starches start in the mouth. Some things start in the belly, but it's digestion, absorption, utilization, and elimination. Some of us just got digestion and elimination. We're not absorbing anything because it ain't nothing to utilize. The malabsorption ring, which I can find in your eye if I looked into your eye, that's iridology, will let me know that you have lots of gunk along your colon wall, which doesn't allow for anything to penetrate it. So it's really time to clean up those bowels, ladies. All right, so I think that was it. Cleaning up the kidneys, adrenals, the bowels, moving the lymph, an herbal protocol, castor oil packs, detoxification, really getting that acid out of the body. Okay, it's Fibroids Awareness Month. You don't have to get a hysterectomy. Surgeries do not address root issues. So you get the uterus cut out, that's $30,000 for them. They're in it for the money. They don't know how to fix your problem of stopping you from bleeding anyway. Then a lot of you are getting on birth control for non-contraceptive reasons. You got to stop doing that. All right? It literally numbs and masks what you have going on. It doesn't address the issue. Oh, well, it regulates my period. No, it doesn't. It creates what's called a pill-induced bleed. You're giving yourself this estrogen for 3 weeks, and then you come off and do those sugar pills, and your body's like, oh, no estrogen? Oh, now we bleed. That's not a period. That's not a normal menstrual cycle. Your body didn't decide that. Those pills did. And they're high in heavy metals. And so many women have those heavy metals floating throughout their body and wonder why they can't get pregnant. Your body is highly acidic. And when we don't address that acidity, those high levels of acidosis turn into high blood pressure and other things that happen in the body when you have high levels of acidosis. It chews up the thyroid. A lot of you are having hypo and hyperthyroidism. A lot of you don't have a regular cycle. It's absent. You haven't seen it in years. Pituitary gland got chewed up. Acid. So you have to begin to correct and restore the organs and glands. That's always going to get the body healed. That's always going to get you the answers that you need. Not a surgery. Surgery has its place, but it should be a last resort. Okay? And I don't see any questions in the comment section, but that is what you have to do if you're having fibroids. And I did say I was going to speak to the reason that I feel that people in the African American community have it more than our counterparts. And that's because guess what? We hold on to stuff. We don't let it go. Sweep it under the rug. What happens in this house stays in this house. You better not tell our business. So you're sitting on that information. You don't get to express yourself. You don't get to release this negative energy, this negative, this toxicity essentially. And you have to think about it, ladies. When our mother was in our grandmother's womb, we were there as an egg. I mean, in her ovaries as an egg, right? So if grandma was stressed and had things going on and she passed something on to mom, and then when mom was pregnant with you, she was stressed and she had stuff going on, you've been dealing with transgenerational trauma. You have stuff in your womb space that's not even your stuff. So you have to release and let those things go. They don't serve you. What is the point of holding on to them? Yes, easier said than done in most cases, but you have to do the work. Again, what you're not willing to acknowledge and address, you cannot heal from. And you have to tell yourself the truth. And you guys know, well, maybe you don't. Well, for those of you who are here, I posted about mask wearing, not this past weekend, the weekend before that. And honey, they wanted to drag me for filth. They were pissed off with me. People were blocking me and deleting me, and that's fine. I am a human being, okay? This is my experience here on this planet, and I get to choose just like you get to choose. So if you don't like my views, that's okay. You don't have to agree with my views. So there was this one young lady that said, well, where did you get this photo from? And why do you think X, Y, and Z? And blah, 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 because you're posting false information. Hold up, let's stop there, because it doesn't matter where the graphic came from. Let's talk about your experience, because you sound like a mask wearer. When you have it on, can you breathe? Because for most people, the answer is no. Yes, there's different kinds of masks out there, and some you may be able to feel like you breathe better than others. The reality is you're always breathing in your O2. You are weakening your immune system. That's what we do now. So she lied and said she doesn't have that experience. And I'm saying it's a lie, because everybody that's been wearing masks are saying, oh my God, my glasses are fogging up. What do they do for the glasses wearer? Oh my God, I can't breathe with those things. You see people with the things around their ear and the mask under their chin. You can't breathe in it. You should not be wearing masks for long periods of time. If you want to go into a store and the store doesn't allow you in without a mask, and you really need something in there, and that's the only time you're wearing it, fine. But wearing masks for long periods of time is damaging. It's all a part of design. It's all a part of the setup. If you're listening to the media, if that's who your God is, if that's who your source is, television programming, if they're programming you to believe their lies, I understand where you are, and I'm not judging you for that. But what I am saying is, think for yourself. If you can't breathe, listen to your body. It's always telling you what to do. You don't have to listen to me. You don't have to listen to anybody. Listen to your body. It's yelling at you. It's screaming at you. You're feeling lightheaded. You're feeling dizzy. You got all the signs, whether I post a graphic or not, where you know the graphic comes from. But my thing is this: if you don't tell yourself the truth, you damn sure ain't gonna tell me the truth. And a hit dog will holler. That's fine. Unfriend me. Delete yourself. Another lady was like, I can't believe you doing this to your people. I'm doing this to our people, giving them information to change their perspective, possibly, or not. Because I'm sharing information doesn't mean I'm shaming you because you're wearing a mask. That was never my intention. So if you took it that way, that's on you. That's your perspective. I don't get to choose that for you. But sometimes sharing information will cause you to think for yourself. And that's what a lot of people don't like about me, is that I am a free thinker and I speak my mind. Okay? Where your limitations doesn't start my fear. You're not going to fear me into anything, because I think for myself. I listen to my body. I listen to my intuition. I know who my source is, and it's not the media. Okay? If you tell yourself the truth, you know you can't breathe in that mask. We weren't born with masks on our face, because we don't need them. That's not how viruses are caught. I say it week after week. They didn't do this with HIV. They didn't do this with herpes. They didn't do this with any of the other viruses that people are contracting on a daily basis. People die like this all the time. They're just highlighting it. The flu has still killed more people than the coronavirus. Okay? So be a free thinker. Do your own research. Find your own stats. Stop watching the numbers of death. What about the toll of the people that have survived it and lived from it? Okay? Not the people that they intubated and put pressure in their lungs and killed them. That's why people trip me out. Are you a doctor? No, I'm not, because I don't kill people and get away with murder. I actually do the opposite. I empower people. I teach them different ways of doing things from a natural perspective. You should be in the sunlight. You should be in the fresh air without a mask. You should not be driving in your car with a mask on and you're by yourself. There was an article of a man who created this big accident because he had his mask on in the car by himself. You can't breathe. The rate of the survival of coronavirus is 99%. But y'all focusing on the people who already have pre-existing conditions. So let's address this real quick while we're here. Dang it, I wasn't supposed to rant, Woody. So all of a sudden, the media was aware of pre-existing conditions when George Floyd died. Oh, he died from pre-existing conditions. Oh, but pre-existing conditions don't exist with the people who have died from the coronavirus that have COPD. Their lungs are already filled with fluid. They already have blockages. They already deal with asthma and other breathing and respiratory conditions. So that didn't apply. And then you give them you put a tube in them, a ventilator, instead of giving them oxygen to help them breathe. Killing people and getting away with murder. Depopulation is the goal, people. You have to think for yourself. Stop letting people think you into their way of... I'm telling you, I feel like I'm walking in the twilight zone because we don't ask questions. We just do what we're told to do, or we do what we see everybody else doing. And it's not good, because the thing is this: if you're listening, they're telling you, oh, it's coming back around. Somebody sent me some calendar. I didn't even repost it, but some calendar of their layout for the rest of the year. And so October and November is supposed to be another lockdown, supposedly, another round of this, terrible coronavirus and the flu at the same time. But what you're doing is, while you're wearing your mask, you're weakening your immune system. You're weakening your tissues, and you're making yourself susceptible to what they're getting ready to introduce. And so this is why it's going to look so major come October or November. But it's because you contributed to the problem. So when somebody is sharing information, ooh, where'd that bug come from? When somebody's sharing information, take it in. Listen to what they're saying. Look at it from a different perspective. Apply your experience to it. My thing is this: if nobody ever... I can't breathe when I put on the mask. So I'm not wearing it. Nowhere. And my state has deemed, if you are in public without a mask, we're going to give you a citation. Do what you have to do, because you don't get to tell me that I have to wear something that I'm not allowed to breathe in. I went into an establishment the other day. Oh, you need a mask in here. If I need to leave, I will walk out, because I'm not putting on a mask. I can't breathe, and that's not how you catch this so-called virus that y'all, all this hand sanitizer that you're using, weakening your immune system. Hand sanitizer don't work. It ain't killed a germ yet. All you doing is rubbing in the germs. Lysol, formaldehyde. All you doing is putting embalming fluid in your damn body. Read the label. Become avid label readers. These plugins that you got in your wall so your house can smell so good, filled with formaldehyde. The first question I ask people who come to me for ear candling with headaches: oh, I got this migraine, I got these headaches, it won't go away. Do you have plugins in your wall? Yeah. You got to take them out. You've been breathing in this formaldehyde. It's all in your environment. You giving yourself headaches. Okay, so you have to be an avid label reader when it comes to everything. And yes, Jamila, they condition everyone from birth. They start out with those damn vaccines. Okay, compromising your nervous system. But people don't do their research. They do what they're told. My son's pediatrician would talk trash every time on the outside of that door, and I would let her know, we're going to go in here and this mom's going to say no, and that, you damn right. And I bet you he was the smartest one in his class. I bet you he knows how to think for himself. Wise beyond his years. Tapped into his intuition. And I will not suppress his gifts with a vaccine. There is no coincidence that these babies are walking around here highly autistic. They already had a weak immune system. They were already highly acidic. And then we flooded them with all this ethyl mercury. Went straight to the brain and caused damage. We shouldn't be putting ethyl mercury in our body at that rate. We shouldn't be putting it in there, period. Not to mention the Cocker Spaniel gene, the the monkey brain, the rat brain, the aborted fetal tissue. Why? To hold on to their virus that they're putting in your body live. And this is the part that I don't get. Help me understand this. You've been locked in your house for 3-4 months now. You're not going out to get fresh air. You're wearing a mask when you go out. You're afraid. Fear weakens the kidneys. Fear weakens the tissue. Fear causes a weak immune system, right? But then gonna be the first one to line up for the live virus to be inoculated into your body, the virus that you've been running from this entire time, the virus that you're wearing the mask for to not. Help me understand. Help me understand that, because I don't. That makes no sense to me. Because somehow they have conditioned you and programmed you and made you believe that if you put it in your body, then you can't get it. But they didn't want you to get it because they're pumping all of these death numbers to you. Like, do you understand what I say when I say think for yourself? Stop listening to the tell, lie, vision programming. They program you by what you see, what you hear, put you in fear. And that's what this pandemic is about. Fear, not a virus, fear. And people are all in their emotions. Get out of your feelings. I'm not saying that people haven't died. Okay? That you didn't lose loved ones close to you. Nobody's dismissing that. But please understand that people who are perfectly healthy are not catching the virus. That's not how viruses work. They're susceptible to weak tissue. So if you're not well, you will contract it. But a highly alkaline body, somebody who eats electrical foods, people who keep their day mostly raw and don't eat a lot of processed crap and fried crap and, all of the things that creates acidity within the body, they're not likely to contract it because it can't survive in that environment. And guess what? Viruses can be detoxed out of the body. You don't have to live with herpes forever. You don't have to live with HIV forever. What I need y'all to understand is your government created everything from AIDS to Zika. Everything. And they know exactly what they're doing. And they don't like you to use the word cure because anything created can be reversed, can be cured. But they want you to buy into their system. Because if you're not sick and you're not participating in their sick care system, they don't make money. That's why they'll tell you, oh, herbs don't work. Everything God left behind's work. Everything that grows up out of this earth works. Yes, you do not have to know the difference as far as what's poisonous or what you shouldn't be taking in overabundance, but it's not many things. Everything has purpose. If you get an opportunity to take a nature walk with somebody who's an herbalist and they can show you the different herbs in the wild, go and take that walk, because we may just need it in the near future to understand what is what. Start growing your own vegetables. Start growing, do the small things. Start growing your own herbs and using them. Mint, amazing properties for the body. But we have to get in tune. We have to start understanding, reading, and getting this knowledge for ourselves. Stop watching that television all damn day. Get off of CNN. Because they're programming you to what they want you to know and believe. And see, when we don't do the research for ourselves and we don't read and think for ourselves, we do what we're told. We're robots, human robots. So we're still an enslaved people. They still have a hold on us mentally. Literally said, stay home. And what did we do? Followed directions. Quickly. Listened. People are waking up. They're like, this is a hoax. This is some bullshit. It is. I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone. Somebody made a comment made a comment back to me in reference to a comment that I made, and I'm so sad of your response, and I know this may be a defense mechanism. Sir, you don't know me. You don't know nothing about my defense mechanisms. I said I could choose to be sad because I feel like I'm walking amongst the walking dead every day, but I don't choose to walk in that energy. Just like I don't choose to walk in the frequency of sickness and disease. It will not come upon me because I don't walk in that frequency. So therefore I will not attract that to me. And you have to understand that. You get what you believe. You get what you believe. And I also take care of my body, and it's evident. You can look at me and tell that I take care of my body. People say it to me all the time. Look at your skin. Look at your hair. Your teeth are white. This and that and the other. because they can see the outer results by what I'm doing internally. What's your secret, girl? It's not a secret. Take care of your body so that your body can take care of you. It's not just a cliche saying that I end my lives with. I mean it when I say it. When I say that health doesn't happen by chance, it happens by choice, I mean that when I say that. I'm not trying to give you no cute, catchy end, and that's what she always ends her lives with. No, I want to leave you with that so that you can understand that that's what it really is. My health doesn't happen by chance. It happens by choice. I'm choosing to mono fruit fast this week. I'm choosing to live a lifestyle of detox. I'm choosing to join Nicole's Patreon so that I can continue to get recipes when all of this is over. I'm choosing to join Nicole's Patreon so that I can ask her a question. Let me tell you, Facebook don't like for this truth to come out. So they paused my live for a second. But you have to understand, you want to ask me a question? Go to my Patreon. Support. You can ask a question in email and I can return the email in 24 to 48 hours. Stop picking people's brains. It's rude. It's disrespectful. That's not how things work. When somebody actually runs a business, they don't have, I have people like, you got a minute to chat? I don't. That's not how I do business. Book a complimentary consultation. Get on the calendar so that you ensure your time for me to be accessible to you. I'm not always accessible. That's not how this works. And it's not to sound cocky or rude or throw shade. When people are running a business and they deal with people all day, every day, you cannot expect somebody to say, oh, such and such sent me an inbox with her phone number and let me call. I don't operate in that way. So join the Patreon. There's a tier for everybody. $1 just to support. $5, $10, $50. You actually get herbal protocols. You get access to me with a one-on-one. Like, I'm giving people different avenues to be able to afford me that can't afford me full price. But I'm not charging less than I'm worth. I studied a lot to get to where I'm at. I spent a lot of money to get the knowledge that I have. I've stayed up many nights, 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning while people were asleep, to get an understanding, to gain knowledge so that I can help people in the capacity that I do today. And it didn't all come overnight. But I'm not going to I don't give that away for free. You have to pay me for my time. This is my business. This is how I eat. This is how I provide for my family. Respect that, because you can't go nowhere else and do that. You can't call your doctor up in the middle of the day or text them in a DM or in an inbox and ask them to answer a question. You can't even call up to their office and get them. Somebody else is there before the doctor. Respect practitioners in the same way. You don't know what I'm doing. I could be in an ear candling session. I could be in a V-steam. I could be typing up a regimen, which requires my focus. But if people are unavailable, respect that. Get to them in ways in channels that they have set up for you to have access to them. It's courtesy. It's common courtesy. I don't have to do 10-minute free complimentary consultations. People pay me on my Patreon to be able to do that. I give valuable free content every single Monday night when I sit before you for an hour. And I appreciate those of you who show up every week. I appreciate those of you who share my lives with your friends and your family. I can't reach the masses alone. All right, so this is a great way for me to do that. So I appreciate you, but respect my time. Respect that I have other things going on. I don't just have fresh and I have a family outside of that. So there's times when I need to do things with my family that people have access to all the time. And I don't necessarily, because I'm working to help people heal, which is a huge calling. You have to understand the toll and the energy that it takes when you're dealing with people who are sick and the vibration that they're in. And you're an empath and you take on other people's emotions. It's a lot. You have to understand that. So if you're just tuning in, make sure you go back to the beginning of this live to see what it is that I talked about as regarding fibroids, what they are, how you can reverse them. They're 100% reversible. You do not have to get surgery. Some people get myomectomies when they have fibroids, which is the removal of fibroids. It's the least invasive way to get your fibroids removed. And guess what? For most people, they come back. 6 months, 12 months, 2 years. You didn't address the emotional baggage. That's one. And you still eating the same. You're still consuming the negative thoughts. So they are going to come back. You didn't clean out your colon. You didn't restore kidney and adrenal function. You didn't get your lymphatic system moving. So they're going to come back. And this is why I say that surgery is not the answer, because it doesn't address the root issue. So they cut them off. Now what? Cut them off and you doing the same thing. You're going to get the same result. They coming back. Okay, and for the record, they don't run in families. Fibroids don't run in families. Diabetes doesn't run in families. High blood pressure doesn't run in families. The way you eat, drink, breathe, what you put on your skin, how you handle your emotions, that lymphatic system that was passed on to you, genetic weaknesses are passed on. And your lifestyle and your diet determines or if you're going to represent with that pathology. My mother, my auntie, my grandma, all of them have fibroids, and now I got them. You change nothing about the way you showed up. You eat the way that they eat. You drink what they drink. You take care of your body similar to the way they take care of their body. And so what happens is we start to see the things show up in us quicker, sooner, faster. And if you have a daughter, it's going to show up in her quicker, sooner, faster. So this is why it's so important. You know, like people are so afraid of this virus, but you're eating the same. I go into the grocery store, my cart is full of fruit bowls and vegetables and salads and all of this, you know, healthy stuff, clean eating. And then I see carts full of steaks and chicken and meat and seafood. You're afraid of dis-ease, but you're eating dis-ease? Does that make sense? So, take care of your body so that your body can take care of you. Address the hurts that you're nursing from a partner and the blows to your feminine ego that you're still holding on to if you have fibroids, if you have cysts, if you have fluid-filled sacs. Again, cysts are replaying the old painful movie. Childhood, usually. Let that go. What that husband did to you, let it go. You constipated and you have bowel issues and you have irritable bowel syndrome. Why? Because you are refusing to release the past. That's why you're dealing with trouble in your bowels. Irritable bowel syndrome. Refusal of releasing the past. Staying stuck there, allowing it to rule today. That doesn't serve you. That doesn't serve you at all. So, take care of your body so that your body can take care of you. Health does not happen by chance. It happens by choice. Before I go, let me make sure somebody didn't say something. Sharon said, yes, it is hard to breathe in a mask. I'm worried about how I will wear it when school begins all day. Speak up for yourself. I was in a store the other day. I said, my body doesn't allow for me to wear a mask. You can say that you have a condition that doesn't allow for you to wear a mask, and you do not have to share that with anybody because HIPAA says that you don't. You don't have to share what you have going on in your body. So they need to show you in the law where it says you have to. And this is why we need to start getting in business for ourselves. This is why I work for myself. Because while the building that my business is hosted in tells me that I need to be wearing a mask in common areas, I'm my boss. Nobody gets to choose that for me. Nobody gets to choose how I'm breathing. I get to choose that. Facebook don't want y'all to hear this truth. They keep stopping the broadcast. But do what you have to do for you, okay? Make the decision that's best for you. If you feel like wearing a mask is best for you, wear a mask. All I'm saying to you is long periods of time in a mask, breathing in your CO2 does damage to the body. The results will speak for themselves. You keep wearing it, you'll see the results. People having lung issues right now. result of mask wearing all day. It's not natural. It's not normal. And if you're outside and riding a bike and running and in the gym, for God's sake, like, why are you doing that? Y'all should have been taking these sanitary measures. You should have been wiping down everything at the gym after yourself. You should have been, I mean, the way they're wiping down the keypads, you know, after somebody uses it, all the plexiglass hanging down in all the stores and restaurants. It's ridiculous. Twilight zone. That's what I feel like I knew I was living in the Matrix before, but it really feels like I'm in the Matrix because we don't think for ourselves. We just do what we're told. Just do what we're told. Tell, lie, vision, programming. We're programmed. And until we realize that, we're going to keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. So good night, folks. Y'all have a good night. Again, this is Fibroids Awareness Month. Make sure you share the live if you haven't already so that other people who are suffering with this can get some information. They have a way to reach out to me. You can find, I'll be sure to put the link in the comments to my link tree. Or you can just go to my website, ilovebeingfresh.com, go to the consultations tab, book a consultation. You can go to the womb steaming tab, book your vaginal steam, your ear candling sessions. You can always go to the shop tab and get your healing teas. I have an array of them. There's some more teas that are being released. They've been released. I've custom made them for clients for a while now, but they're actually going to be uploaded to the website, like our constipation blend. Our anemia blend is already out there. Our Moontime tea blend is out there. So if you're dealing with heavy bleeding, really bad cramping during your menstrual cycle, you want the Moontime tea. Our womb healing tea and douche blend has been out there. It is our #1 selling tea. That helps reverse HPV, the human papillomavirus. So people have cured their human papillomavirus with my HPV tea. Drink it, douche with it. So if you're going to do that, get 2 containers. So more healing teas. Or like I said, the constipation blend is coming, the hair loss blend, the liver blend, the kidney blend. There's so many blends that are going to be released. So stay tuned for that on the website, but do your work in the meantime. Watch what it is that you're eating. I'm not saying that you can't consume the things you love. I love crab legs. That's why I ain't a vegan. Okay? When I want to have some, I'm going to have them. I don't restrict myself in that way. I do what works for me. But and they're very toxic, because they have no way of cleansing their body. Bottom feeders are highly toxic. They done been in their own poop, their own pee, everything that they do, everything they soak up from the ocean. If they don't have gills and scales, they cannot clean their flesh, and only few fish can do that. So when we're eating seafood, a lot of the times it's highly toxic to the body. So I understand we have our kryptonite. I understand we have our fixes and we like our things. I get it. Moderation. Here and there, not every week, not even every month. You know, living a lifestyle of detox. That is what I teach people. It's how I live. People think I don't eat anything. I eat. I don't just eat, drink smoothies and eat walnuts all day. That's not what I do. I actually eat food, but most of my day comprises of raw stuff. I break my fast in the morning with fresh fruit. I drink cold pressed juices throughout the day. I make smoothies. I'll have a salad. Maybe a cooked meal, maybe not. I use a lot of mushrooms to substitute for meat because I don't want to put that acid in my body. I take herbs on a daily basis. Okay, I strengthen my tissue. I keep my vessel and my temple clean. I clean out my colon regularly. Once a year, I do something for my liver. I love on my organs and glands so that they can do what they are created to do. So my body can be in the best optimal shape for itself. This is a very complex machine. We have to keep it tuned up. We can't give it crap all day, every day, and expect it to perform optimally. That is insanity. So do what you have to do for yourself. Do what you have to do for your body. Do what works for you. Do what resonates for you. Take what you want, throw away the rest. You hear people say it all the time. Chew up the meat, spit out the bones. I can listen to people that I don't necessarily agree with because I'm always a student. Some of y'all hate Trump so much you don't even realize he's been dropping dimes. He's been dropping little nuggets all along this whole pandemic. But y'all hate him so much that you can't hear the stuff that he is dropping to you. I'm not saying he's not an idiot. I'm not saying he is not an asshole. I am not a Trump supporter. But he's also revealed who he is. And he's also said some things that leaves clues. And he's also not worn a mask this entire time. Pay attention. Don't miss the lesson because you hate the teacher. People that you don't like can teach you a thing or two. I saw a friend of mine post his books that he's reading the other day. And people are like, oh, how you got all his books you support? He said, how do you plan to defeat your enemy? How do you plan to defeat the opposition if you don't know how they operate? If you don't know how they think? That's why we have been taken over, because we were studied and we were watched. And you need to do the same thing. Pay attention. Pay attention. So you all have a wonderful night. Peace, love, and wellness. And I'll see you guys on the other side, the next video. So www.ilovebeingfresh.com, or you can go to my Linktree/womb therapist and find links to the different services, products and offerings that I have. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.